Okay, if you watch this video to the end, you're going to get a couple tips about orchids that are going to rock your world. For the rest of your lives, your orchids will be healthier because you've listened to this. So let's jump in. My name's Dave. You're in my orchid oasis. And today we're going to talk about various mounts when it comes to orchids. As you can see, I have lots and lots of orchids that are mounted. Just so you can see that I'm legit, I have a lot of orchids. I probably have, I don't know, 350. It's a lot. Anyway, I was just showing off there. Let's take a look. So why I have so many mounted orchids, I would say a majority are mounted, is because I have a friend who he owns a commercial nursery. So he does this for a living. He grows orchids. He's been doing it for 40 years. And he said to me, quote, if I could, I would mount every single orchid. Now, obviously, he wouldn't mount like terrestrial orchids, like stuff that grows in the ground, but everything else. And his rationale is, well, in nature, they all grow in trees or rocks. So why would you put them in a pot? That's not how they grow. But the reality is, and especially in a commercial greenhouse, is you only have so much room, and you can really tighten the pots together, but you cannot with the mounts. But I took his advice, and he is right. Everything I've mounted is mega happy. And I'm not going to talk today about how to mount. We'll talk about that some other day, but I just want to show you some examples of the stuff I've mounted and how happy they are. Uh, let's see, where to start. Okay, so this is just a classic cedar mount. Now, if you can see, the little, see how the roots have attached to the wood? I mounted this maybe a couple months ago, but you can see, even in the back, you can see how right? How cool is that? Now, up here, you can see I used like a, what would you call this? You have it on the back too. A zip tie. I use zip ties. I've tried wires. I've tried pantyhose. I've tried basically everything. And I find by far the easiest are the zip ties because you just put them on, zip, and make them tight, and they are good to go. So this is some Cattleya. You can see it's already about to bloom. The new growth is happy. It is really stuck on here. It is mounted, and it is happy. And the good thing about mounting orchids is you can't overwater them. If you are an orchid person, I imagine you've had a Cattleya and you repot it and everything inside it is rotted and dead. That's because Cattleya do not like too much water at all. In fact, we're supposed to have a tropical cyclone this weekend. So yeah, my Cattleya is not going to be happy. In fact, I'm going to take a lot of the potted ones and put them under cover because they don't like wet, 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 wet. They like to be wet and then dry real fast. Wet and then dry real fast. Just like in nature. Because in nature, if you think about it, it's in a tropical, probably jungle. A lot of these are like a jungle situation where it just rains torrentially. They get super, super saturated, and then it just gets hot and sunny, and they completely dry out, all within like a day. None of this stuff in a pot where they are, right, they're going to be wet for days, so we don't want that. So the good thing about mounting is you can water them every day. In fact, I do water them every day unless it's been rainy because they're mounted, and if the root is exposed to the air like I just showed you, it's fine, right? It's going to dry. It's sunny. By the way, I am in Southwest Florida, so you always have to keep in mind whenever you get advice from these YouTube videos of where you live and where they live. Because I've made the mistake of trying to grow my orchids in a way that I saw in a YouTube video of a person that lives in an apartment in New York City. It's not the same thing. This is tropical. I am in a subtropical region. It is hot all the time, humid all the time. It rains nonstop during the summer. I'm facing south, so right, so I'm getting sun all day. I'm under a pool cage screen. That's it. It's what's called a 20 by 20 screen, which filters more of the sun, but we'll talk about that some other day. So what I'm saying is, if you live in North Carolina, don't necessarily listen to what I'm saying exactly. You have to adjust for your conditions, right? All right, let's look at another one. So in addition to mounting, I also like to put things in baskets for the exact same reason. Here's a good one. All right, so same concept. Completely exposed to the air, right? Tons of airflow. The roots are basically exposed directly to the air because what's in here is lava rock. It's inorganic. There's no bark. All it is rocks. And why I did that is because, like I said, with these Cattleya, they want to dry out as quickly as possible. So you basically mount them on rocks, no bark, nothing that can get wet, stuff that dries basically instantly. And what you'll see here is you see how the roots are starting to like wrap around and attach themselves to the basket and attach themselves to the rocks. Well, that's the idea. That's kind of like hanging it on a tree. I mean, mounting it on a slab of wood is ideal, but this works too. So hanging it in a basket or putting it on a slab of wood, they both work well. I guess that's basically it for that guy there. Okay, what can I show you that's going to blow your mind here? Oh, this blew my mind. So Dendrobium are generally, I've found they love water. Like almost all of my Dendrobium are potted. Like if, oh my goodness, look at this sucker. Look how fat that thing is. Holy moly. I love Dendrobium. That thing is freaking huge. So mostly I pot these things because I find they like a lot of water. So I really never mount them. That's one of the last things I'd mount. But one is mounted here. And it gets watered every day just like the other stuff. You can see it's not as happy and healthy as what I just showed you. So in my opinion, in Southwest Florida, mounting Dendrobium, you can do it, but it's not ideal. The ones I found are potted, and that'll be a different video, but you cannot believe how these things are growing. I think I have them figured out. Small pots, tons of water, tons of fertilizer, tons of sun. But we'll talk about that a different day. All right, what else we got here? What else we got? This is a good one. So this might be the most classic thing to mount your wood on. So this is Cork Bark. It's not cheap. I got it on Amazon. I got a big box of it, but it was like $200. But why it's so awesome, and probably the number one things that you're to mount it on. And if you go to anybody that really knows what they're doing or like a serious orchid hobbyist, you're going to see stuff mounted on this. And it's because it never really degrades. I mean, this thing will be alive. I mean, the bark will last for 15 years, 20 years. It's very, very, very durable. When it comes to any sort of thing that you mount your orchid on, you want to make sure it's something that lasts for a very long time. Cedar, driftwood, this. So it's not like I'm using pine. If you use pine, it's going to degrade within a couple years, and then it's going to release all kinds of junk into your orchid, and then you got to like crumbly. You got to like somehow take the orchid off and put it onto something new. Don't mess around with it. Cork bark is cool. And again, I just planted this maybe 2 months ago or whatever, mounted it. Look at the roots. The roots are all stuck on there. I water this every day. Super happy. New growth. Happier than the ones in my pot. Oh, this one. Here, this one's going to rock your world. This is a cedar cookie, is what they call it. It looks like a cookie. I did this maybe 3 months ago, and look at these roots. Is your world rocked? It should be rocked because I mean, look at this. Look at these roots. This thing is beyond mega happy. I mean, this is going to be blooming like crazy because they're exposed to the air. They get watered every day. This is how an orchid grows in nature. If you saw one in nature, this is what it would look like. It would be stuck to a well, not a cedar cookie, but to a tree. That's my favorite one. That's cool. Okay, here's another thing you can mount your orchids on, which I really like. This is called Chola Wood, or Chola Wood. I think it's Cholla. So this stuff here, a lot of people put it in aquariums. And if you buy it on Amazon, it's going to be from an aquarium. It's not cheap. It's like $12 each. I find that Southern Agriculture, that's the website, Southern Agriculture, they have the best quality and the cheapest ones. But this might be my favorite mounting material because, again, it lasts forever. And it just naturally has these holes in it. I don't even know where this comes from, honestly. But it just naturally has these holes in it, which these roots love. Because if you can see, right, they're going through, they're going around, they're super happy. So this is Chola Wood, Cholla. Very happy. It's a great material. Okay. Do we have anything else that's unique? No, not especially. This is, like I said, this is driftwood. It lasts a long time. I don't know what kind of orchid this is. I don't like it. It looks dead. It's looked dead for years and it doesn't bloom. So I'm probably doing something wrong. But when I bought it, the guy told me that it thrives on neglect. Well, he was lying to me or didn't know what he was talking about because I've neglected the heck out of this thing and it looks like this. So if anyone watching out there knows what I'm doing wrong, please let me know because I cannot figure that thing out. Oh boy. All right. Well, I guess that's basically everything that I mount my. I mean, I have some mounted on a rock, like a. I don't know. It's a, like sometimes I'll get like kind of a porous looking rock and put it on there. Like I try all kinds of different stuff, but the best is definitely that chola wood, that cork bark, cedar cookie, just a slab of cedar. Um, the wooden baskets are nice. I mean, even if you look at something like this, this is a plastic basket, right? I'd like the wooden baskets more because the roots can attach themselves to the wood. But this works too, right? Because in here, I have basically inorganic media, so the roots are going in through there. Great airflow. It dries real quick. It's what they want. So they stay happy, happy. All right. Well, I'll be making a lot more of these videos, and you will be learning a lot more, and you're going to up your orchid game. And please, if you like and subscribe, it really helps because it improves the algorithm and more people get to see this and they get to learn great stuff because I watch a lot of stuff on the internet and it's wrong. So pass it along, like, subscribe, share until we meet again.